This is our chance, my son! Attack!
He's fast. He must have studied how to use his power.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Nerdime here with another figure review, and today we're looking at the SHF Dragon Ball Super Broly. And before we get into everything, I just want to say thank you for everyone who subbed within the last couple of months or so, and I hope everyone had a great holiday season and is enjoying their new year so far. Like I was mentioning before, it's taking a while to get some of the stuff that I ordered for obvious reasons, but I got some really dope stuff coming, especially the next review. So I appreciate everybody for sticking around. But yeah, the figure's pretty dope.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's crazy when you see photos of the figure, you think some of the texture and some of the joints on the figure are gonna come out one way, but this one was a pleasant surprise. I do of course have some issues, just like, most figures, it's not perfect, but it's definitely, pretty refreshing. So yeah. Let's get into the figure is included with this huge problem.
So you think you got a huge problem?
Box. Doesn't even fit in frame. So look, let me just slide down a little bit. Like you got a whole nother 25% of the box to look at. But the art on here is pretty great, as usual. And yeah, also included with an instructional booklet, just going over the joints and articulation, which is always helpful. And I'll definitely get into why this one is even, we'll even get into it now. So the neck piece around the figure's neck, obviously, super small plastic piece, super hard to spot in the package if you aren't expecting it to be in there. I actually saw the front of the box art and it reminded me, I was like, yo, was this not included? But obviously, open up your eyes. So, but outside of that, let's take a closer look. So taking a closer look, and this figure is a monster, he's a beast. But I love that the articulation does not hold this guy back. Or sorry, the size of the figure doesn't hold the articulation back. The biggest thing I was worried about is the cloth or whatever he has around his waist.
This is Buzz here.
I really thought this was just going to be a hard plastic, but this is kind of similar to the texture on the Zamasu that I have. And I actually am a fan of this one. Super flimsy, it doesn't get in the way at all. He's able to do whatever he's got to do, type of stuff. Oh snap, well that is new.
Oh my lord, that's foul. That's disgusting filth.
So that happened, but I haven't had that happen at all since I got in it. So it might just be a one-time thing. And it snaps right back into the peg hole. This one's kind of coming a little loose too. So just keep that in mind when you're moving them around and everything. But it's dope. It's not gonna get in the way of anything. And these are also on their own little joints as well, or hinges. But yeah. What I was referring to at the start of the video also is that he's included with this little neck brace or shocker. And this thing I almost forgot it was in the box. But ooh, see, and it's already slipping out of my hands. So it fits right around his neck, and then it pegs in pretty well without it getting in the way. But yeah, I also love that these are on a nice little joint of their own. It's not even like a hinge, and they also pop off pretty easily too. So if you're trying to switch up the look, you know, something different, you can do that also. I love that the bicep, when it bends, it doesn't really get in the way of anything. You know, you're not limited with your articulation there either. And I love that they even added the details of the scar. Even the details on the face came out pretty great. Definitely something that I'm not a fan of though is the ab crunch.
No good. It's hard to move.
So I get they use a taller stature and everything, but it sucks that, I mean, if you can even notice it, it's not even by that much. But he's only ab crunching about that much, as opposed to a figure like this one, the ab crunch. He's doing a full bow without me having to even bend the legs or anything. And then you can bend all the way this far back. And then when it comes to this figure, I mean, you're not getting that much there. But outside of that, I mean, he's not known for doing a lot of stretching, you know, and extravagant JoJo poses or anything. So for what he is, it's really not that bad. I definitely wish there was a little more shading on the figure, but again, that's an issue that, you know, you would get with any SHF related figure. There's some pretty dope customs that are out there. I'll even pull up my boy ABT Custom, where he added some shading to this figure. And definitely, if I ever have to get a custom with this figure or the body of the figure, it would be with, it's like a neon green variant that ABT Custom has done with the figure, and he looks great, dope. You know, hopefully maybe one day in the future we can I can scoop it up and we can do a review on it. But outside of that, I mean, it's great. Pretty good articulation with the knee joints. It's kind of crappy that there's no little swivel here. But outside of that, you're also not going to get a lot of range when it comes to the ankles. So, I mean, it is hindered for the size, but, you know, where you're limited, it's not in too crucial amount of areas. But yeah, outside of that, he looks great. So let's get into the accessories. So taking a look at the accessories, definitely there is a lot that is missing here that would be cool to have included with the figure. I hate that SHF doesn't include these beam effects, or I don't know what you would call them, with the majority of their figures. You know, it sucks that they kind of sparingly include those. This one would definitely do a lot better if we had a lot of extra accessories. Even some alternate hands would be cool. And it sucks that these are the only 3 faces included. And you know, they fit for each, you know, sculpt, and it's cool that we get a different up to at least 3 head sculpts. That's not really something that you get with these kind of figures. But at the same time, I still wish there was a little bit more. I'm sure if you include the other form of Broly that they have in the SHF form, you know, all in total, you know, you're getting a lot. But for just this alone, you know, I wish there was a little more, you know, included here. But outside of that, the sculpts came out great. The alternate hands came out great, and even like I mentioned, the little part that is super hard to lose, this came out great also. It also fits on all my other figures, which is pretty dope too. Here we'll look at the Marvel Legends Deadpool. Let me pop his head off. And I'll go ahead and snap that back on. Yeah, it's like he has this little I don't know, shocker necklace on, I guess, whatever. I know on this one, pop the head off. Literally fits to everything, which is pretty dope. So there's that. One thing I know I forgot to mention in the comparisons of the figure, there are a couple of custom artists that make actual cloth parts for these or replacements. I don't know how it's gonna work out if you were to try to take this off. Oh, I guess it just pegs in, which is cool. So that should be pretty easy to get off if you need it to. But if I end up keeping this one for a bit, or if I end up getting that custom that I mentioned earlier, I'm definitely gonna throw on one of those, because that would definitely complete the figure. Even if something like that was included, that would be pretty cool. But it is what it is. So let's move on to the height comparison. Doing a height comparison, here he is compared to the SHF Naruto, and yeah, this guy towers over every figure I have. Here he is compared to the custom Kakashi I have from Vestley Studio. And here he is next to the custom SAHF Goku Ultra Instinct from AVT Customs. And then why not? Here he is compared to the SHF Piccolo, which is already a pretty huge figure as it is. But yeah, he fits in scale great with everything. I mean, outside of him towering over every figure, he's gonna fit great in most lines. He's gonna look menacing in every shot. So yeah, all in all, he is a dope figure. Like I was mentioning, if you were expecting more accessories, it sucks that he's kind of limited in that department. I especially would have preferred some more alternate faces. But for what he is, he's great. He's not gonna have limited articulation or anything, outside of the ab crunch. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for me today, and stick around for the next video or the next review that's coming up. You guys are gonna be super excited for this one, and yeah, take it easy. Peace.